Fellow pedal nerds in sim racing, I've got a great video for you because I'm here, world debut of the Thrustmaster load cell pedal, which at the moment is its upgrade, and it's a middle pedal here, obviously. So I want to show you how it's working like in the calibration. So I'm in Le Mans Ultimate, and this is a modulation that is required at what Thrustmaster say on this setup. They put the stiffest elastometers and springs, or basically it's just the stiffest setup. So have a look how much pressure I need to apply. Okay. Can you see? For me, that is good enough for Gran Turismo. Like, if you're doing iRacing in like a Formula 3, like sim racing now, the spectrum of what you can do is insane. But let's just use Gran Turismo as an example. That is plenty fine for Gran Turismo. Because let's say you're coming into MOZA, turn 1, okay, and you hit the brakes 100%. Let's say that you need to stay on the brakes a bit longer because you're braking really late. You're going to know that you're staying on the brakes longer because you're applying that pressure. But let's say that you've broke a little bit early for turn 1 at MOZA, and you need to roll off the brakes, okay? So then I'm going to be like this. I'm just going to be like, with just a little bit of muscle memory, I'm going to be rolling off the brakes 20%, and that's going to enable me to carry a bit more speed into the corner. By the way, I've got all my tips on my masterclass, www.getfastonline.com. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more like this. So I'll show you what this means in practice. I don't know if I can, Sam, maybe you could just hold the phone here. Okay, so I'm not going to have my headphones on, so I'm not driving super, I'm not going to be driving, whoa, Jesus Christ. I'm not going to be driving super serious, as you can see, okay? Ooh. I am thinking, and this is a bit unfair on Thrustmaster, but I've been trying so many insane rigs with active pedals and all haptics. When I've got my headphones off here, I'm only feeling through the wheel. Like again, I'm starting to believe a little bit more in like haptic motors and stuff. And I can see like if you could mod the Thrustmaster and have some haptics. Right, we're gonna go into Les Combes, so you're gonna see what it's like actually trying to, I'll try and brake a little bit early and do that thing where I roll off the brakes, okay? So coming down the straight, braking a little bit early, too early, rolling off, modulating it. So that's what you get with load cells. If you want to pin down exactly what it is with load cells, yes, it's about trail braking, but also it gives you that kind of extra ability to adjust in the braking zone, which I think does make you faster. You can be really quick on hall sensor or potentiometer pedals. That is a fact. You can be laser quick, but you kind of need to be getting your marks right every time, and you need to be repeating in almost like an esports sense the exact input trace. Whereas with a load cell, you can feel it more. Same with direct drive, you can feel it more. Whoa. And again, we're going to come through this section here at Spa, where I'm going to be really on and off the brake. So have a look what I'm going to be like on and off the brake here. Pitching it in, and then when you have that pressure of a load cell, you can really pitch the car in. So you can start to use the brake as a tool to rotate the car. And I have to say, I feel like I've been very transparent and honest about my view on the T598 bundle. Unbelievable price, unbeatable price for PlayStation. But I've always said you don't have that load cell, but now you do. And I think that upgrade is pretty much going to be essential for kind of the more serious sim racer who's using the T598. And so I think this is probably going to be one of the most popular products when it comes out. I think it's still 2026 coming out. So again, if you have any feedback on it, put it in the comments to this video because they will see it. And I have a really good relationship with Thrustmaster. They're very receptive to feedback. They allow me to, Sam's gonna change the preload on it. So Sam's just changed the preload on the pedals. I don't know, Sam, if you know which way, oh, okay. Let's have a look at this then. So that's changed the, I have to recalibrate, but there's now there's already resistance in the pedal, so the preload already has some resistance, which is quite interesting. I think they say it's a 5 kg preload, and you can see what that's done to the calibration. In fact, if I pop in here, and we'll go in, to the calibration. So now you can see it's got up to 13%. So I'm going to set the minimum here, just resting on the pedals, set the minimum, and I'm going to set that as a maximum. Okay, so we have now recalibrated the pedals with this preload changed. And I think, Sam, what's happened is there was more of a preload before that was, now it's easier for me to get some initial kind of input on the brake pedal. So if you want that really sensitive pedal where you're just going to be tapping it a little bit just to, again, to modulate the car, you're going to prefer this. If you want to be driving in a way where you really, like a real car, you need to be really getting on the pedals to be using them, you're going to be wanting to adjust the preload accordingly. I'm not a preload expert. I tend to kind of set up my pedals with the springs and elastometers and then drive through that. But for people that are really into it, it's good that you have that adjustability. It's obviously been important for Thrustmaster to do it and incorporate that cost into the product. So I believe it's going to be, I think, 139 euros for the upgrade that comes with the plate. Again, I really want to see that full-on raceline load cell set, and I want to see that bundle with the T598. That's the thing I really want to see. That's going to scare a lot of other brands, because on PlayStation, when Gran Turismo 8 comes out, there's going to be a whole new hype about racing on PlayStation. There's going to be a new generation of console racing, and Thrustmaster is going to be there front and center, and people no longer have to pretend that the T598 is perfect, because it's not, because it doesn't have a load cell. But when this comes out, it's going to be competing with those, it's going to be head to head with the Logitech RS50, and they have just come out with our load cell. It's a great time to be a sim racer in this budget range. I mean, like I said again, I think this is an essential upgrade for pretty much anyone with a T598, subject to it working in mass production, etc. But for my use here, I love the pedal plates, I love the wider heel tray, I love the feeling on the brake. I'm a massive fan of this. Good job, Thrustmaster, bringing the load cell. And yeah, make sure to subscribe if you want to let me get more access like this.